Hi guys, I came across the Thorpes and they have a TikTok channel called Meet the Thorpes. So, I was looking at it and I said to myself, look at this couple. They are a loving couple. They've been together for so many years. They met like when they were teens and now they're in their 30s and they're married. And I looked at it and they're trying to reach the goal of 400,000 subscribers, and I hope a lot of people will get them there. Honestly, I find that black love doesn't sell as much as black dysfunction, and because I think a lot more people want to see and prognosticate about black dysfunction rather than black love. And it's understandable because looking at a lot of polls, it looks like, and it was up to almost like 55 to 60% of black people are unpartnered. And because they're unpartnered, they're in a state where they're saying, listen, what is happening? And I find that a lot of black YouTube is focused on the gender war, and it's not that there's a war on black love, because it's not organized like that. What is organized is a lot of young men who are disappointed in the way they were brought up, and I think that they got influences from older men that in their communities that really was anti-woman, and I don't want to fault the women that raised these young men, but I don't think that those women a lot of them were ready for parenthood. So it was just a bad situation, and now a lot of women are dealing with these men and they're finding it so difficult. And I find a lot of times there is this kind of message, it's almost like you're worthless, you ain't ish, and all of that stuff. And then the next message from the women is, so why don't you just fix yourself and be there? And what's not understood is that there's just a lot of negativity, and this negativity doesn't work well. But what's happening with the 30% or the 40% who are together, they are doing something completely different. They are actually building relationships and having families. And one of the things I want to understand is, how can we grow this? Because children who come from these nuclear families, they do much better. I mean, study after study shows that you come from a two-parent household, for girls, they get a lot of their self-esteem from dealing with their father, and for boys, they get a lot of structure from dealing with their father. The mothers are ultra important, because the mothers a lot of times are what the vessel in which they get love and they get validation and all of that stuff. So I just want to see this come back together. And if we can look at the example that's here of all these black couples, there's just so much positives to see here. And I think that I hope that in the future that people will support a lot more channels and a lot more content from couples, because these black couples, they a lot of them, you'll see them over years go through trials, go through different things. But what's important is that they stay together and that they, have that sense of responsibility and commitment. So, when you go through your channels and you look at the different things, if you're seeing you're looking at a lot of black dysfunction, you have to understand that you're feeding a logarithm that will later on push that stuff and promote that stuff, and it gets your content creators to go to that point that they feel that, listen, our people want more black dysfunction, and they don't want, and all these couples out here who are doing their content, they're not getting much viewers. So guess what? They just stop producing, and then it appears as if there's no one who's enjoying black love. So I hope a lot more people will click on these couples videos and black couples and taking their content. It will go a long way in promoting something that we all want. Thanks, guys.